which is actually affecting our planet. And the topic is making fast fashion sustainable in Pakistan. So before we proceed, I would like to narrate some housekeeping rules. I request my speakers to please keep their microphones off when they're not speaking, and they're also encouraged to switch on their cameras. And the participants, they can post their questions on our social media pages, specifically Facebook and LinkedIn, in the comment box. The video is being recorded and it is being shared on the pages as well. And you can also use the Zoom chat box option or the raise hand option if you have any questions or comments. So we have been joined by some distinguished panelists today. We have representation from both public and private sector. First of all, we have been joined by Ms. Romina Khurshid, and she is the M&A and Special Assistant to Prime Minister and Convener SDGs. We have also been joined by Mr. Sohail Naqvi, who is the Senior Manager at WWF Pakistan, and he specializes in water. And we have also been joined by Dr. Arfa Shahid. She is the Assistant Director Textiles at Trade Development Authority Pakistan. And we have representation from the social media influencer, Ms. Mavish Ahmed. She's a Pakistani who's based in Netherlands and has been advocating for sustainability for the last 2 years. So I greet you all a very warm welcome. I would request Mr. Sohail Naqvi to begin with the seminar. Since fast fashion is about the trends that are being set by the retailers and that are being adopted by the consumers, the fashion is the product is in demand, and it is mass produced by the retailers for the consumers. And since it creates a burden on the manufacturing and production sector, so obviously it is affecting the environment as well. It is playing a role in degrading the environment because textiles is connected with the agriculture, with the water sector, and eventually with the overall environment. The consumers in Pakistan also, although we have very awareness regarding the environment degradation and conservation efforts under climate change, yet I think we lack ethical consumerism when it comes to purchasing dresses and buying clothes and keeping oneself in trendy fashion. So I know you have some great research on the textile sector, Mr. Sohail, and I would like you to please comment on this and share your views on today's topic. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Zainab. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's an honor for me to be one of the panelists on this very important topic. Textile, as it was mentioned by Ms. Zainab, like this is one of the major core area which contributes into the export of Pakistan. And most of our reliance if we talk about the textile export is on the home textile, which is actually the bedwares and the others. So there are other areas which have been unexplored, unfortunately, in Pakistan still. Talking about the fast fashion, this is the new era, or where not only the developing countries, but the developed nations switched on that very drastically in the recent past. One of the reasons was whenever we wear a new shirt or any new dress, there is some sort of a internal peace or a happiness, which actually the Europeans and the international consumers, they wanted to have that kind of the feeling on every day. So that's why they wanted to move on the lower cost, because if we buy a shirt which is more than 50 pounds or 50 euros, and if I buy in 10 euros, so I can buy the 5 shirts and every day I'll be feeling that kind of the happiness. So that was one reason everybody was switching. The cost was there. Right now after the pandemic and due to the multiple reasons, right now the market interest has changed. Secondly, the life cycle of those products or the textile, particularly the fast fashion, is also this is also quite important to be considered whenever we are studying or we are discussing about the textile and the raw material. So these are the areas. But besides that, the major impact is on the environment, on the degradation, plus about the raw material, as well as our, the contamination into the environment. In Pakistan, why the fast fashion is promoted or it is moving on? One of the reasons, the big brands, they have very stringent compliance parameters, and this is one thing. That's why the average consumer doesn't want to buy that, or it is out of the range in terms of the price. Plus, the local producers, they prefer to supply into the local market as compared to the international market, or developing the short life cycle, the products named the fast fashion. Said that, if we see about the footprints, like in terms of the water footprint, energy footprint, carbon footprint, which is quite important, which needs to be considered. And this is something where, if the government provides some directions to the local suppliers and the big players in the market, they collaborate with the local suppliers. So the fast fashion could be sustainable in a country like Pakistan, and that could be taken forward and moved on. So this is just a brief and about the different parameters which have been discussed. Like if we talk about our textile policy, if we talk about our existing, the curve of the export, we are expanding like from the $13 billion to more than $24 billion, where we are standing right now. But the question is, do we have the raw material? Do we have the entire supply chain management in Pakistan? So these are the things we need to keep in mind whenever we are exporting into the international market on one side, and on the other side, the local suppliers, if they are connected with those big brands. So it could be a good flavor or a good combination where the entire market can be catered. So I'll just stop here, and then time to time I'll be giving my feedback.
Yeah, thank you, Sohail. But I have a comment here that what do you think about that Pakistan is a leading exporter of textiles and even the cotton? So you think we don't have enough raw material to mass produce the textiles? What is your take on this?
Yes, Pakistan is one of the major producer in terms of the cotton, but if we see the graph from the past 5 years, not very far from the past 5 years, our cotton production has reduced at the drastic level due to multiple factors. Climate change is one of those. Climate shift is there. Plus, again, every year we also have to import the cotton into Pakistan, like the good quality cotton, to fulfill our export, the quota or the export demand. So that's why every year we have to export the good quality Egyptian cotton and the others from the market as well. So this is something, the two kinds of the point of views. One, our cotton quality, some of the area isn't that good. So that's why we have to import the cotton and produce the, the products, and then supply into the international market. And on the other side, if we have, it is not fulfilling our requirements. So that's why, due to the climate change, we are facing that kinds of the challenges right now.
So climate change is a biggest challenge for Pakistan at the moment, and it is affecting our export-oriented sector, which is textiles. And although Pakistan has been doing great in terms of the fashion brands, the apparel brands, and our brands are now globally recognized, and whether it's the European Union countries or whether it's any country in the world. But if it is sustainable or not, if the fashion brands, they are doing the sustainability or not. That is the question, because we are already bearing the brunt of climate change impacts. So if this is affecting our export oriented sector, that is eventually affecting our economy, and we are already facing great challenges in terms of economy and in terms of environmental degradation. So with this, I would like to welcome our panelist, Ms. Romina. Ms. Romina Khurshid. She's the Special Assistant to Prime Minister and MNA and Convener SDGs, and she has been very vocal in terms of promoting sustainable development goals and doing a lot of work to keep Pakistan on track to achieving the Agenda 2030. So, Ms. Romina, I would like to request you to comment on this very important topic, making fast fashion sustainable in Pakistan, because you know that every single Pakistani is trying to maintain the trends and keep up to date regarding the fashion, and our brands are now producing thread and they are launching collections almost every single month. So they are doing a lot in terms of contributing to the GDP of Pakistan as well. So what is your take on this? If we are on the right track towards keeping our exports sustainable, or keeping our fashion industry sustainable or not? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would really like to welcome and good afternoon, all the ladies and gentlemen, those are over here. I must be knowing few names and I don't know other names, but anyways, whoever so has been in the panel and they're listening, to all the viewers and the listeners, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to all of you. Well, I'm so glad, first of all, SDPI, that you have taken a very important subject, which is very much not only important, I believe that it is a great need of the time, because when we talk about the fashion, so fashion covers so many areas, and I must appreciate Sapphire, because I was gone through with their work, and I'm really glad to know that the way they are working on the SDGs and they're promoting SDGs and they're focusing on that. So it shows that how the people are so much concerned. The corporate sector is how much concerned specifically on SDGs. So while coming back to the topic, I must say that, in Pakistan, of course, we know when I move around globally, wherever we go. So, when it comes to fashion, it comes about, when it comes to the clothing of the Pakistan, people usually, they really love our cloth, our cotton, our, stitching and that thing. But the missing component, because as being an SDGs task convener, because for not only one goal, because I believe that every goal is somehow related to other goal. So as 17 goals, and of course, my great concern is the goal 17, which is more over the partnership, in which I believe that the right partnership with the right people, and to bring the people, right people among with each other and do the collaboration, can bring a great impact, and could be great use for the society, and it can bring a great impact on the economy as well. But when we talk about the sustainability of fashion, or in Pakistan, like about when we talk about the clothing or anything. So, first of all, one thing, because the stuff or the things which are the chemicals are being used, they are using nowadays, it depends as well, because now the people are very much, they are very much, for everything, most of the people who can afford, they're going towards organic materials. They're going for the organic color schemes. They're going for the organic foods. They're talking about, and they really prefer, like few days back, we were having a discussion I had a meeting. I've invited few people around with the NAFTA and other people around. And the biggest challenge which the people are facing, it's like, not only the stitching, the embroidery, the work, the level of the work our people are doing over here in our provinces. Like every province have a different sort of, stitching, sense, styling, and all that things, which can be very highly utilized. But unfortunately, they are not being when we talk about the local industry, SME sectors, or the home-based workers, or the women who are doing these sort of stitching, knitting, those work, they're not being aligned properly with the fashion industry. So, you know, it's very important because we, as I've engaged few of the universities or the areas where they are providing the technical skills, because I don't believe only on education. I believe that skill-based education can bring much more impact. Not only the impact, it can lead us towards the betterment for this country, and it can impact great impact on socio-economy. So in that, you know, there is a great gap among the industries, among the people, and then the people who are working in the small sectors, they don't know which sort of a chemical they are going to use. So whatever chemicals they're getting, so they're using. So then those chemicals can come up with a great problem for not only for the climate, for themselves, for their health issues related. Then, you know, same goes with the other. And not only this, I'm talking about the fashion only. It could be for, like, we can talk about this for knitting sector as well. We are talking about the rugs as well, carpets. You know, there are so many things which are being included in that. So for that, if of course there are so many people who are from the textile sector is here. Like I myself working very closely with the EU Chamber of Commerce. We have tried to engage them. We are doing different art discussions, because of course this is something which is specifically on the fast fashion sustainability in Pakistan. But I would really like to request all the panelists or the like Sapphire or other people who are here, that we are really looking forward towards for the suggestions for their research and how we can help to each other, because as a convener of SDGs, we are trying to align all the 4 provinces, including AJK and GB. So this 27th and 28th July, we are going to host a national meetup conference in which one of our component is, and I will not say that it's including on the fashion sustainability, but it's moreover on the eco environment and how we can develop the eco businesses and how we can bring the impact. So in that, we would really looking forward for your suggestions and whatever we can help. And then we would really like to have you guys over our into our SDG Secretariat. And other than, we are looking forward along with SDPI, because SDPI is one of our very big partner in SDG Secretariat. So in the work which we are doing. So I think there are so much work which we can do. And when we talk about our GDP or GSP sides as well, I think this is one sector, if just one sector which can, if we can work properly in a right way, and then we should know how to brand our people, how to brand our, how to do the branding of our brands. And I must say, like, it's very surprising, like it's someone posted few days back that there was a print of a Gucci or some other brand, and that they were having yellow sort of a kapda, uske upar chote chote, like, you know, small flowers were there. And the same was in the Quetta, the women were having on their charpai, you know. So our culture is very colorful, bright, and amazing. So we just need to align the things and to come up with a mechanism, which is also not very tough. And I can assure that the SDG Secretariat can provide all sort of the facilities, and we can come up as a bridge among the right, like industry sides or the fashion industry, and towards the provinces and to the institutions as well. So along with these suggestions, in the last, because there is so much I can share, but I really wanted to listen more, and I wanted to learn from all the experts who are sitting over here. I just wanted to say that with your right suggestions, and right ways, because it's more important that we should listen to you guys at which sort of the challenges that you guys are facing. And when we talk about the e-commerce, when we talk about the startups, Pakistan is the youngsters, they are having so much challenges which they are facing. So in that, we are also trying to cope up. We are trying to work on that. And that I wanted to inform you that in the SDGs, we are having few of our partners like parliamentarians, other than the partners, because we do have the strategy of having the private corporate sector as a partners, and they could they invest their CSR not with us on SDGs in their own domains where they feel, and they like properly they can take the ownership of that. But we as facilitator, as a parliamentarians, we provide them whatever the assistance. And in the last, anything which can come up in the way of policy, in implementation side, I'm really looking forward for the suggestions. And always there, my email, I would request SDPI to give my email ID to you all. And anyone who wants to get back to me or want to ask anything or any suggestions or any ideas which we can pitch in or pool in, I don't mind to. We would really looking forward to work along and to learn from all of you. Thank you so very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Romina. You have indeed raised some very important points, and you have highlighted the importance of this sector for Pakistan. And also speaking about the GSP Plus status, we have Dr. Arfa Shahid from Trade Development Authority, Pakistan. And now, since Pakistan's GSP Plus status is under review, and we know that textile sector is the export-oriented sector, and it has some major contributions to the GDP of the country. So with this, I would like Dr. Arfa Shahid to please comment what Trade Development Authority of Pakistan is doing currently to promote the sustainable exports in the world from Pakistan. Over to you, Dr. Arfa Shahid. And before that, I know we have a lot of questions from our participants. We'll be taking questions in the end. Over to you, Dr. Arfa Shahid.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much, Zainab. First of all, I would like to appreciate SDPI for taking this initiative, because today we are here on a platform where different personnel are present from the different institutions, and we are in desperate need of working together and for collaborating for a common good. So it was a pleasure listening to Madam Romina, and I would like to give a few suggestions. You all be knowing that we are coming up with the Texpo, that is the 4th edition in next month, that is August. So our theme of Texpo is sharing a common thread, and the thread is of course of sustainability. So our major goal is to promote the sustainability in textile sector through this mega event. And we are not only looking forward to work in the look at the outcome or the product that is sustainable, but we are working so much to map whole of the supply chain so that we can work right from the raw material till the end product, and we can have end-to-end sustainable goals. And I would like to suggest that one of the major issues that we faced during this event was we were not capable of mapping out all the industries or all the sectors in Pakistan that are already working in such circumstances. For example, we have this Sapphire group here, and they are having some
Dr. Arfa, we are unable to hear you.
Should I start from again?
No, we just skipped to the last part after you mentioned Sapphire, and you were unable to face what during the event.
So the major issue while coming up with the theme of the Texpo was we were not able to map all the industries that are in Pakistan that are already doing or taking initiative regarding the sustainable development. So maybe we can come up with the proper implementation or the framework where we can map all the industries right from the SMEs or even the local brands, and then we can easily have an umbrella of government authenticity, and we can promote them through the Texpo. And also we can, regarding the raw materials that are not environment friendly, we are also coming up with the tariff rationalization policy in which we are implementing more import tariff on those raw materials that are not environment friendly, and we have rationalized all the tariffs to the raw materials that are environment friendly. Also, another thing that I want to highlight is that we need to come up with a mechanism in which whole of the supply chain we can make whole of the supply chain under single umbrella, in which we can define the SOPs for the SMEs, so we can guide them or we can train them according to those SOPs that you have to have such certificates or you have to have such testing facilities in order to be incorporated in such developmental goals. So that's it from my side, and I just wanted to highlight how we can achieve this goal through Texpo. So if we can come up with some sort of collaboration or some sort of MOU that we can work on, that would be a great initiative from Pakistan being a national pioneer of sustainable development goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arfa. Definitely we can work out some solutions for promoting sustainability aspect. Also, you have mentioned that for the event you have faced a challenge. There was a gap. You were not able to identify the industries or those brands who are actually working on sustainability aspect. We have also been joined by Mr. Moshin Nishat, who heads HR, Sustainability and Communications at Sapphire Textiles. So we know that Sapphire is doing a lot in terms of sustainability and making fashion sustainable and circular in Pakistan. We know that you have launched some collection which marked sustainability in Pakistan. It was a sustainable collection a few months back, and it was repurposed clothing that was launched. So Sapphire is actually doing what it it is practicing sustainability in Pakistan. It is not doing mere greenwashing, which is a problem we face in terms of fashion apparel brands who highlight a lot that they're doing this task for promoting environmental protection, but that is actually not happening. So in this context, I would like to request Mr. Moshin Nishat to highlight what Sapphire is doing and how we can reduce the gap that has been mentioned by Dr. Arfa Shahid and improve our sustainability in fashion apparel industry. Over to you, Mr. Moshin.
So Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. So I will be very quick on it. जी मैं मेरे ख्याल में आपने बहुत सारी चीजें बताई हैं. अब Sapphire is a big group and some of the companies are doing great stuff, yes, but because we are from a sector which generally is considered to be lacking in a lot of elements, not only in sustainability, skill set, competency, टेक्नोलॉजी में. हालांकि ये सेक्टर टेक्सटाइल बहुत आगे है पाकिस्तान का, जिसकी वजह से हमें एक्सपोर्ट और एक प्रीमियम मिलता रहता है. पर मुझे लगता है ये जी मैं अगर बहुत क्विकली बताऊं तो द रोड इज नॉट दैट इजी. इट इज एब्सोल्युटली चैलेंजिंग. फर्स्ट आई वुड टॉक अबाउट कि हमने कैसे किया है. तो मुझे लगता है जी कि हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का माइंडसेट सिंस way long was absolutely tilted towards sustainability. So sustainability was something which was considered to be a project or a tick in the box. Rather we believe sustainability is in our DNA. और इसकी बहुत एग्जांपल्स हैं. आप देखेंगे तो पाकिस्तान का सबसे पहला क्लीन ग्रीन एनर्जी का विंड पावर का प्लांट सफायर ने लॉन्च किया था. वो बिल्कुल एक टेक्सटाइल से हट के है, बट ये माइंडसेट आपको हमारी लीडरशिप का बताता है that they think sustainability, they're very serious about it. And when you have that mindset, then you only push initiatives within the supply chain, within things which are in your control to actually enable and make good transformative change. We think we have been able to do a lot, but it's way to go. There are a lot of things which we personally also think that we can only do if we do collaborative collective work. और वो हमारा मुझे लगता है पाकिस्तान का या टेक्सटाइल के सेक्टर का या इंडस्ट्रीज का थोड़ा सा मिसिंग लिंक है. उसके बहुत एलिमेंट्स हो सकते हैं, जैसे आपने बात की है. मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम सिर्फ एक एलिमेंट को इन द एसेंस ऑफ टाइम में आपके सामने पुट करूं तो जैसे डेटा है. अब आपका नॉलेज होना कि कौन सी कंपनी क्या कर रही है, क्या चीजें हो चुकी हैं, किसी की क्या बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, इन सब का हमारे पास मुझे नहीं लगता कोई स्ट्रक्चर्ड पाकिस्तान में कोई गवर्न मैकेनिज्म है जहां पे हम बगैर खौफो खतर, which is without the fear of competition or being copied, because हमारा ये भी क्योंकि ये फॉर प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, बड़ा नेचुरल है कि जी दूसरे जो हमारे बड़े कॉम्पिटिटर्स हैं वो क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या मेरी कोई सी अच्छी चीज को कॉपी करेंगे तो उससे मुझे क्या बॉटम लाइन पे टॉप लाइन पे कोई फर्क पड़ेगा. वो सेफ्टी नेट या साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी नेट क्रिएट नहीं कर सके जहां पे हम बहुत खुशी से अपनी एग्जांपल्स बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस एक दूसरे के साथ शेयर करें और हैंड हेल्ड करते हुए बाकी पूरे और इंडस्ट्रीज को ऊपर लेके जाएं. मुझे एक ये लगता है. सेकंड रीजन ये है कि हमारे पास इमेंस अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा है और दुनिया बहुत डेवलप कर गई है ऑन कैप्चरिंग सस्टेनेबिलिटी रिलेटेड डेटा, assimilating it, making sense out of it. मुझे लगता है कि अभी भी हमारा टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर उसको बहुत ही वेरिड वे में यूज करता है, जिसको कोई स्ट्रक्चर्ड या स्टैंडर्ड वे नहीं है। जो अब बहुत रिसेंटली SCCP ने मेरे नॉलेज में है कि गाइडलाइन दी है कि अब ESG का मैंडेट होगा, डेटा शेयर किया करेंगी लिस्टेड कंपनीज, तो उससे शायद ये स्ट्रक्चर और स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन आना शुरू हो जाए। लेकिन अभी क्योंकि नहीं है तो बहुत डिफिकल्टी होती है कि क्या हमें हर दफा री इन्वेंट द व्हील करना है या हम किसी से लर्न करके थोड़ा फास्ट प्रोसेस पे इस वेरी वेरी फास्ट रैपिडली ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव वर्ड के अंदर एक स्टेप आगे निकल जाए। ये मुझे लगता है हमारा दूसरा बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, और ये मुझे नहीं हर एक को फील होता है। और इसकी वजह से फिर बहुत कनेक्टेड चीजें हैं। मैम रोमीना ने बात की थी स्किल्स की, दैट्स अनदर चैलेंज। समहाउ वी ऑल वांट टू लर्न सम ऑफ दिस। हमारे यहाँ हमारी फैमिलीज में, फैमिली के यूनिट में, स्कूल के स्ट्रक्चर में हम बच्चों को वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग, जो स्किल्स या कॉम्पिटेंसीज हैं उनकी तरफ पुश नहीं करते। हम उन्हें, आई एम सॉरी फॉर यूजिंग दिस वर्ड, हम उन्हें डिग्निफाइड क्लर्क बना देते हैं। हम उनको अपने हाथ से काम करना या जिसकी एक्चुअल वैल्यू है उस तरफ वो स्किल्स प्रमोट भी नहीं करते, मोटिवेट भी नहीं करते, और जनरली हमारा पूरा स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है कि हम उसकी तरफ उन्हें लेके जाएं जिससे वो कुछ इनोवेटिव क्रिएटिव हो कि जिसमें हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है, जिसका फाइबर हमारे पास है, जिसकी किसी हद तक लेगेसी हमारे पास है, उसके ऊपर कुछ नया काम करके और इन सब चीजों को पुश करें और इससे भी बेहतर आउटपुट दुनिया की मार्केट में दे सकेगी। I think that's what I had to say. Otherwise, and if I summarize, I think it's mindset. It's putting focus on this word, sharing openly with that psychological safety net, and using data to a level which is understandable and implementable or replicable by similar type of work. See, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Moshin. But do you think that the fashion apparel brands in Pakistan, they are adopting sustainable options, or are they, transitioning towards sustainability? We know that Sapphire took the initiative of the packaging material. They changed the packaging material. They converted from plastic to e-packaging. So, do you think that the brands, they are trying to follow the line, or is there a chance that we might be promoting those brands for the export sector in future, which are using the eco labels or eco tagging for their products, which are recognized internationally? So, or is there a way to promote ethical consumerism in Pakistan through these fashion apparel brands?
So, Ji, if I have understood you correctly, you have asked too many things in one question. So, I'll take step by step. I think आपने पहले कहा कि possible है कि नहीं. I strongly believe possible है. Possible है. हमने इसके अलावा सिर्फ पैकेजिंग नहीं, हमने और बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव जो आपको देखने चाहिए ना वाइडर एंगल. फॉर एग्जांपल, Sapphire was the first one to distribute seed infused bag. वो एक तरफ तो हमारी पैकेजिंग बैग थैले की बजाय, प्लास्टिक थैले की बजाय हमारा प्रोडक्ट कपड़े के थैले में जा रहा था. साथ साथ हम कंज्यूमर्स को मोटिवेट कर रहे थे कि प्लांट करें, क्योंकि आपने साथ साथ कार्बन फुटप्रिंट भी तो रिड्यूस करना है, वो भी हमारी जॉब है. वहां पे हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि जी गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी और क्या करेंगे. जो हम कर सकते हैं वो हमने किया. फिर उसी तरह हमने अभी रिवाइव द थ्रेड के नाम से एक कैंपेन लॉन्च की थी, जिसमें हमारी कोशिश थी कि हम पुराने कपड़ों को लोगों को इंसेंटिव दें, वो हमारे पास लाएं. उनमें से जो अच्छी हालत में होते हैं उनको हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देते हैं एज अ चैरिटी यूजिंग अ पार्टनर. लास्ट टाइम हमने अखुवत के साथ मिलकर किया था. या जो इस हालत में नहीं होते कि जो दोबारा रिफर्बिश होके डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए जा सकें, वी हैव अ मैकेनिज्म कि हम कपड़े से फाइबर तक दोबारा फाइबर बनाते हैं और फिर उससे दोबारा धागा बना के उसको दोबारा से. दीज टाइप ऑफ इनिशिएटिव्स कैन बी डन मोर. आई थिंक वी हैव पोटेंशियल, इज जस्ट पुटिंग फोकस. एंड जैसे मैंने कहा था, अगर माइंडसेट है तो हो सकता है. अब आपने जो दूसरी 2-3 बातें की थी, आई थिंक कि जी ये कैसे हो सकता है, वो मुझे लगता है कि जी ये तब हो सकता है जो एक तो बहुत नेचुरल तरीका है. एक्सपोर्ट में मेरा अपना भी ख्याल है कि कुछ ऑर्गेनिक है, कुछ ऑर्गेनिक नहीं है. कस्टमर्स मांगते हैं आपसे. ऑर्गेनिक मीन्स तो मेरे अंदर से निकल के आ रहा है कि सस्टेनेबिलिटी एक बहुत अच्छा काम है जिसको हम अच्छा डीड समझ के करते हैं. वो भी है, हमारी कंपनी ने किसी हद तक उसी माइंडसेट से स्टार्ट किया था. लेकिन इस वक्त की दुनिया में इट्स एन इनएविटेबल. इफ यू वांट टू बी प्रेजेंट इन यूरोपियन यूनियन, इन टू अमेरिका, दे विल आस्क कि जी अच्छा कि फाइबर है, आपने पहला तो ये फाइबर का इम्पैक्ट क्या है, इसको मुझे जब मैं 4 साल इस्तेमाल करता हूँ तो ये मेरा कितना पानी जाया करता है, इसके साथ पानी के साथ जब मैं वॉश कर रहा होता हूँ तो इसकी डिसेमिनेशन से एनवायरनमेंट को कितना नुकसान दे. द कंज्यूमर्स वेयर वी एक्सपोर्ट आर एब्सोल्युटली अवेयर. So what we lack is that they come अच्छा तो है ही, लेकिन इसका ये फायदा है not for you but for your future generation, for the future world, then only I think it will be replicable. मुझे मेरा ये ख्याल है. I hope I have answered your questions in
Thank
a
you
friendly manner.
so much. Yes, Mr. Moshin, we'll be taking some more questions from the audience later. But as you have talked about consumerism, so I believe nowadays the best way to promote ethical consumerism is through social media, and so many brands they are taking the social media influencers to promote their trends on social media, and people do follow social media influencers because now they are the trendsetters. Everything is on Instagram, everything is on Facebook, everything is on Twitter, and the social media influencer, if whatever trend is promoted on social media, the influencer just have to follow the trend, and it will be followed by millions of people. So for this purpose, we have taken Miss Mavish Ahmed on board with us, and she's here. And Mavish, I would like to take your opinion. What is your take on this? You have listened to our all speakers and panelists, and how can we promote ethical consumerism in Pakistan? Over to you, Mavish.
Thank you so much for having me here, and it's been lovely listening to all the comments that all the panelists have been making. And थोड़ा सा यकीन भी होता है कि हमारे मुल्क में भी लोग सोच रहे हैं, चीजें कर रहे हैं, especially like it's been really nice to hear what Sapphire has been doing. As an influencer, I've also partnered with them. उनकी campaigns में भी मैंने participate किया. So it's really nice to actually work with brands who are promoting this mindset. So I'll just start off by saying that when I moved out of Pakistan, and I'm living in Holland, and it's been 5 years. And when I moved here, I came here as a fashion lover, very excited to explore all the brands over here and wearing them and सब कुछ. लेकिन जब मैंने social media पे अपना blog शुरू किया, तो the first thing that I realized was that I have to come and appear in front of people every day. I have to interact with my audience. Is it going to be sustainable for me to wear something new every single day? क्योंकि हम जिस सोसाइटी से आते हैं वहां पे नए कपड़ों को पहनना एक सोशल स्टेटस का लेबल समझा जाता है. ईद है तो आपने कितने नए जोड़े बनाए, समर शुरू हुई तो आपने कितने नए जोड़े बनाए. जितना नया और फैशनेबल जोड़ा है उतना लोग आपको सीरियसली लेते हैं. अनफॉर्चुनेटली आवर क्लोथ्स have an impact on the people who are talking to us in our society. So the first thing that I decided to do is that I'm going to encourage people कि नहीं यार, अगर आप कपड़े रिपीट कर रहे हैं तो उसमें कोई गलत बात नहीं, बल्कि एक प्राइड की बात है कि आप एक सस्टेनेबल वे में अपनी जिंदगी गुजार रहे हैं एज एन अवेयर कंज्यूमर, कि रोज नए कपड़े पहनने का एनवायरमेंटल कार्बन वाटर फुटप्रिंट क्या है. सो इन सारे टॉपिक्स को मैंने साथ डिस्कस करना शुरू किया. एंड आई ऑल्सो फील कि सोशल मीडिया पे खाली आके प्रीच करना, ऐसे करें ऐसे करें ऐसे करें, दैट कैन बी वेरी काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव. यू हैव टू डू थिंग्स इन अ वेरी सटल वे. यू हैव टू इनकॉर्पोरेट देम इनटू योर डेली लाइफ, के आप बात कुछ और कर रहे हैं बट आपका ऑडियंस देख रहा है कि इसने यही कपड़े पिछले हफ्ते भी पहने थे, या यही जीन्स कल भी पहनी थी और आज दोबारा पहनी है, तो इफ शी कैन वेयर देम सो कैन आई. So repetition वाली चीज मैंने बहुत ज्यादा encourage की अपने blog के ऊपर. And I also told people कि every time you have to go out somewhere, नया कपड़ा जाके लेना जरूरी नहीं है. You can shop from your own wardrobe. So I would come up with styling videos कि this is a shirt, 5 ways you can wear the same shirt. You don't have to have 5 outfits because each outfit has a negative impact on the environment as well. So I think इस balance को समझना और create करना बहुत जरूरी है कि हम जितनी production और जितनी sales करते हैं retailers, उतना ज़्यादा obviously GDP में contribution होती है, but are we making that contribution to our economy in a sustainable way? So ये वाली चीज मैंने एक शुरू की अपने blog पे, and then a lot of it was also observational. Like when you live abroad, you're also able to see and participate in how recycling is done. So focusing only on clothes, I will not talk about इस वक्त plastic की pet bottles या बाकी glass की recycling होती है. जब मैंने यहाँ पे कपड़ों को dispose of कैसे करते हैं वो सब देखा, and obviously then you also have to follow the rules. So I really felt that these are things which are missing in our country. कि अगर एक कपड़ा है और अब आप उसको दोबारा use नहीं करना चाहते, तो as a consumer आप उसके साथ क्या कर सकते हैं, and if you have to donate them to organizations, it takes a lot of research effort कि अच्छा मैं किसको दूं, कहाँ दूं. when you're going out on the street in Pakistan, वो लाहौर हो, कराची हो, वो कोई देहात हो, आप देखते हैं कि रोड की साइड पे piles of clothes हैं, and there's a lot of waste, and nobody is doing anything about it. And it gives you a lot of anxiety कि ये जो इतना कपड़े का waste हमारे country में produce होता है, उसका क्या होता है, उसके लिए कौन सी recycling facility है, हम उसको डस्टबिन में जब फेंक देते हैं तो वो फिर कितने साल हमारी जमीन पे पड़ी रहती है, उसे कितने साल लगते हैं disintegrate होने में. What are we doing? Because we are consuming, buying, collection पे collection, ये ईद की collection, ये pre-summer collection, ये summer collection, ये pre-autumn collection, अब autumn collection, फिर pre-winter collection, फिर winter collection, So, I mean, it's obviously it's a lot of fun to buy new clothes, but do we think कि इस fun को करते, what are we doing to the environment? And most of the brands, are encouraging you to buy, and they are not creating any awareness. Okay, when you're done wearing them, what to do? एक और mentality जो पाकिस्तान में पिछले कुछ I think 10-1 सालों में शुरू हुई है, जो lawns की collection के साथ I feel शुरू हुई है, कि आपने आज इस season की जो lawn पहनी है, वो अगले season तो out of fashion होती है. So अब मैंने अगर ये Sapphire से 3-piece ईद पे लिया था, तो मैं अगले साल तो नहीं इसको ईद पे पहन सकती, क्योंकि ये तो पिछले साल की collection है, which means कि do I not have the money? Do I not have the fashion awareness? क्या मुझे नहीं पता तैयार कैसे होना है? So it's a collective I think mentality that is also created, जिसमें obviously consumer का भी कसूर है, फिर producer की, retailer की तरफ से भी आता है कि आपने फास्ट फैशन करना है, हर हफ्ते नई कलेक्शन आएगी, आपने उस कलेक्शन में से कौन सा जोड़ा लिया, you go somewhere and you have to brag about which lawn you're wearing. So these are also very big psychological factors which I feel need to be broken, कि हर दफा नया पहनना जरूरी नहीं है. अगर आप एक कपड़े को नहीं यूज करें तो आप उसको सेल ऑफ भी कर सकते हैं, और एक सेकंड हैंड जोड़े को पहनने में कोई गलत बात नहीं है. Even with my kids, I do this a lot, कि from my friends I would take hand me downs, कि अब छोटे बच्चे हैं, उनके लिए तो मैं नहीं इतना खर्चा करना चाहती, और छोटे बच्चों के कपड़े का ये भी मतलब है कि हर 1 महीने बाद उनको कपड़ा छोटा हो रहा है, तो क्या मैं उसको फेंक दूं जाके डस्टबिन में? I feel कि I just can't do that, so I started encouraging this thing as well, कि for kids, take the clothes from your friends. When आपके बच्चे नहीं उनको पहन पा रहे, तो आप किसी और फ्रेंड को आगे पास ऑन करें. So I encourage people to create this chain where बच्चों का कपड़ा जो है वो यूज हो रहा है जब तक वो एक रैग नहीं बन जाता. Now over here we have facilities of recycling. When you are not using cloth anymore, it's in bad condition, so you can't sell it. It's in bad conditions, you cannot give it to someone else. There has to be a facility provided by the government. This is where you put your clothing that you're not using, and this is how the government is going to handle that recycling. चाहे फिर वो different factories को दें, उनमें से दोबारा fiber बनाने के लिए वो businesses के साथ link up करें, retailers के साथ, producers के साथ link up करें, लेकिन कोई तरीका होना चाहिए consumer के पास कि now I'm done with it. What do I do with this piece of cloth? I don't want to throw it in the dustbin. I don't want it to become a part of pile of garbage. I don't want it to go in the landfill. मैं इसको responsibly कपड़े को कैसे discard कर सकती हूँ? So I feel that I want to use my space more and more as I learn more and more कि as a responsible consumer, how do you buy less? सेल का मतलब ये नहीं है कि जाओ जाके 20 कपड़े दोबारा खरीदो वही जो वाकई पसंद आ रहा है, ताकि एंड तक उसको आप यूज करें. So these are some concepts that I'm trying to encourage, and I would really like to see how the government, the retailer and the consumer can partner to make this 3-way collaboration, जहाँ consumer के पास awareness हो, government उस awareness को disseminate करने में participate करे, retailer भी थोड़ा सा consumer पे pressure कम डाले यार नई चीज खरीदने का, So this initiative by Sapphire, that if you're not using something, bring it back to us, is really amazing. Over here H&M भी ऐसे करता है कि आप H&M के जो कपड़े अब नहीं पहन रहे हमारे पास वापस ले आए. Then also introducing lines which say that this is made from recycled fabric, recycled fiber, and also telling the consumer why you would have to pay a premium price to buy something which is made from recycled thread or fiber or fabric. That is also important. So I think consumer की भी psychology change करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. अगर producer steps ले रहे हैं या government research कर रही है, but consumer तक information नहीं पहुंची, फिर I think एक chain missing है. So consumer को भी साथ लेके चलना बहुत जरूरी है, and I try as much as possible कि मैं अपने space based चीज को possible करूँ. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mavish. That's some really good initiatives you have discussed here, and which you taking up these initiatives and sharing this on social media, and sharing good messages with your people and followers, so that they may somehow adopt sustainability in their lifestyle. But as you have mentioned, कि Pakistan में we end up giving our clothes to other people जब वो उनकी हालत बुरी हो जाती है, eventually जब मजीद हालत बुरी हो जाती है, so those clothes they will end up in a landfill. So Sohail, मेरा आपसे ये question है कि Pakistan is a ground for the waste. We import waste from other countries, और सबसे ज़्यादा वेस्ट में हमारे पास कपड़े ही आ रहे होते हैं, which eventually हमारे डिफरेंट मार्केट्स में वो आते हैं और लोग खरीदते हैं. तो इतने कपड़े आ रहे हैं, फिर हमारे अपने ब्रांड्स भी प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, तो लैंडफिल में तो बहुत ज्यादा वेस्ट जाएगा. तो इसके लिए क्या सोल्यूशन होना चाहिए? मैविश ने भी डिस्कस किया है. एनवायरनमेंट को रखते हुए, कीपिंग दिस इन योर माइंड दैट एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन इज अ बिग चैलेंज फॉर पाकिस्तान, और क्लाइमेट चेंज वैसे ही हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज को इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है. तो सर्कुलैरिटी की तरफ कितने चांसेस है कि हम सर्कुलैरिटी की तरफ मूव करें? ओवर टू यू.
जी, thank you very much. Very interesting question. I really enjoyed the discussion from the learned people. You rightly mentioned पाकिस्तान के अंदर दूसरे कंट्रीज से बहुत ज्यादा जो है वो फैब्रिक वेस्ट आ रहा है. जिस तरह से मैंने पहले बताया कि whenever you are wearing a new cloth, आपको एक अंदर से हैप्पीनेस की फीलिंग आती है. That's something the European consumers and the American people or the international people they want you to have. So that's why they switched कि जी हम सस्ती जो है शर्ट ले लें और एक की बजाय 4 ले लें. और आफ्टर अ कपल ऑफ मंथ्स, और कुछ ऐसे हैं फ्रॉम द यूके स्टैट्स कि कुछ ओनली वन टाइम सिंगल यूज है और वो इसको डिस्पोज कर देते हैं, व्हिच इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लॉट पाकिस्तान आ जाती है एंड द अदर कंट्रीज. अच्छा, पाकिस्तान में जब आती है, we are running a project funded by the European Union in collaboration with the ILO on the environmental and social compliance, which is actually linked directly or indirectly with the GSP plus reporting system, or how we can strengthen in that way. So I'll be just giving 2 or 3 points, but first my point will be the response which you asked the question कि ये recycled fabric जो है इसको कैसे promote किया जाए. I totally agree with Mavish and the other speakers. हमें recycling या जो circular economy का concept है, we need to promote that. How it is promoted? Something like that. One example is जो बड़े brands हैं या retailers हैं, they said okay अपना पहला fabric हमें देके जाएं और उसके बदले में some coupon or some discount on products they are recycling and reusing. Sometimes they use that recycled fabric into the the fiber and into the yarn, or sometimes directly in the other products. पाकिस्तान में रिसाइकलिंग होती है फैब्रिक की, यहाँ पे लोकल फैब्रिक और जो दूसरा, बट वो इतनी ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं है. We conducted a study on the potential of the recycled fabric in Pakistan. फैसलाबाद is one of the major market, कराची the other, जहाँ पे आप देखिए कि हमारे ये जो सोफाज हैं इसकी जो फिलिंग है वो होती है, पिलोज की फिलिंग होती है. समटाइम्स हमारे डिफरेंट जो हमारे जो डेली यूजेज की जो चीजें हैं उसमें बेसिकली वो जो फिलिंग है वो समटाइम्स इस फैब्रिक को दोबारा से जो है वो छोटे छोटे पीसेस कतरनी उनको बोलते हैं, ये काट के एंड देन इट इज यूटिलाइज्ड इन दैट वे. समटाइम्स टिश्यू पेपर्स आर इन द मार्केट, वो भी फ्रॉम द ग्रे फैब्रिक वो आ जाते हैं मार्केट में. सो दिस इज समथिंग वी नीड टू more organize that sector. Jisme we need the stats, how much the fabric is there, and how much we are producing inside and how it is moved on. क्योंकि उसको फिर जो है they make the ropes जो कि मोटा बना लेते हैं उसको रस्सी की फॉर्म में, and then in the package material, because अभी तो ट्रेंड दोबारा से ये इसी पे जा रहे हैं because of the sustainability कि फैब्रिक की ropes बना के उसके साथ जो है आप जो पैकिंग करें इंस्टेड के प्लास्टिक एंड द टेप्स एक्सेट्रा. सो दिस इज अनदर एरिया where it is utilized, but it needs more the organized one, because we need the exact stats how much the textile waste is here and that is used. Acha, in the past I just wanted to share another example. In the past what was happened, the brands big brands, when they take the fabric, a country like Pakistan from the others, अगर order से ज़्यादा होता था वो उसको burn कर देते थे, जला देते थे. But now the trend is also changed. उसमें ये हो गया कि because and a country like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh and the neighboring countries, आपने देखा होगा market में आपको बहुत सस्ती जो है वो products मिल जाती है. Those are the branded, क्योंकि अगर किसी का 1000 का order है, वो 1000 की बजाय 1200 बनाते थे in order कि अगर in case किसी में defect आ गया, वो market में उसको sell करते थे. Now the brand has changed their trend. अब वो कहते हैं जी आपने 1200 प्रोडक्ट वो बनाया है हमारा आर्टिकल, अब 1200 ही हमें दे दे. And they also make some sort of the, you know, the sale or the discounts on that way. In that way, this is also, you know, the trend the brand started. About the environmental compliance and the sustainability, because this is something very important and it was earlier discussed. I will second that. Moshin साहब ने और मैम Romina ने बताया कि we need a good marketing and lobbying at international level. Pakistan is one of those countries where some of the industry, I have visited more than 100 industries personally. State of art system है, state of art. I have visited the Turkey industries, Vietnam, Hong Kong. हमारे पास बड़ा अच्छा सेटअप है, बट हमारी इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे वो लॉबिंग नहीं है. GSP Plus, last week the mission was here in Pakistan. GSP Plus mission from the EU, they asked the question of the different government counterparts, like what is the status, what is the progress. We do have good success stories here. मैंने आपको example दी. I am heading one of the European Union funded project. We work very closely with the businesses, and the businesses invested by their own in order to meet the sustainable, you know, the challenges, and they got the business case. उनको उसके ऊपर benefit हुआ. The businesses invested by their own on the capital investment interventions. They reduce their footprint in terms of the carbon, in terms of the water, chemicals. And for the first time in Pakistan, we approached Ministry of Climate Change and Ministry and Planning Commission. We developed a tool which is the SDG 12 tool, the best practices from the private sector industries to highlight at the international level. So that is something which is for the first time. We have submitted that report, and I believe it will be published in the VNR high-level political forum. पे भी इसको discuss किया जाएगा from the WWF side as well. So this is something which is, you know, the marketing at international level, like how sustainable we are or how our contribution is, which is not highlighted, because every day the brands are compelling more and more standards. ये भी करें, ये भी करें, ये भी करें. जब हम कर लेते हैं तो फिर the cost of production is increased, which the brands are reluctant, or, you know, then the other story is there. So we need to have a lobby at that level. Yes, हमारे पास raw material है. We need to see the alternate fibers as well. This is another area, like the banana fiber. Right now, the research is there. The textile products from the banana fiber blending with cotton is there. As I mentioned, climate change की वजह से we are expecting कि हमारी cotton production reduce हो चुकी है और हो रही है. Unfortunately, we need to see the other natural fiber. अगर हम natural fiber पे कर रहे हैं, उसमें hemp आ जाता है, आपका banana fiber आ जाता है, and the other fibers. The research is in the universities. So this is something to promote them as well into the market. So this is, you know, an area. A lot of opportunities are there. And in collaboration with the research institutions, government and private sector, if they can collaborate, they can join hands each other and give the message to the entire world. I believe, yes, Pakistan is will be having a, you know, leading the textile sector in the next few decades. Thank you.
Thank you, Sohail. You have shared some very important research. You know, the textile fiber that is made from bananas and hemp. I believe there has been some initiative by the government regarding research in the hemp, and someday we may be able to promote that in our fashion industry as well. So I believe, Mr. Moshin, if you're here and you can answer a few questions, we have some interesting questions from our participants. We have a question. So what are some, most of the initiatives mentioned by Mr. Moshin require a lot of investments. How to combat that as a small, medium entity? Okay, we'll take some other questions then. There's a recommendation as well. Let's start promoting pre-loved thrift clothes and create stores where we can sell our such clothes instead of letting them go into the dumps. I think that's a very good suggestion. We can do that if, promoting repurposed clothes. We can have certain stores to promote such clothing items as well. But keeping this recommendation in view, I believe, Mavish, you have a comment to make on this recommendation.
Yeah, I do have a comment to make. मैं ये बात करना चाहती थी कि मेरा अपना जाती ये ख्याल था कि लोग नहीं pre-loved खरीदने में interested होंगे, again because of the stigma that our society attaches कि ओ तुमने second hand कपड़े पहने हुए. But just a few months ago, I was visiting home. I had, a lot of clothes that I wasn't using क्योंकि मैं पाकिस्तान में नहीं हूँ, तो a lot of wedding wear, then of यहाँ के भी a lot of western tops that I was not using. तो मुझे ये था कि मैं इनको फेंक नहीं देना चाहती, मैं इनका क्या कर सकती हूँ. So I just used my blog and I put them up in my stories कि I'm selling these clothes, जो भी half price पे, जो भी आपको ठीक लगता है उनकी condition के हिसाब से. And I sold everything. I sold everything from my mother's wedding wear closet, from my mother-in-law's wedding wear closet, from mine, from my sisters, which showed me कि लोग खरीदना चाहते हैं. एक तो महंगाई का ज़माना है, दूसरा people are, getting aware of the environmental cost. तो लोग खरीदना चाहते हैं second hand और pre-loved भी. So maybe that is also something that brands can look at. That for example, मेरे पास ये चंद कुर्ते हैं जो मैंने Sapphire से लिए थे और मैं इनको नहीं पहन रही, मैं Sapphire ही के पास वापस लेके जाऊं, and they can maybe have a pre-loved section as well, that a previous consumer who's not using our clothing anymore, you can buy them at a discounted price over here. So if it would take more time to set up new platforms and new stores, but existing brands can offer this facility that you bring back our clothes, we can recycle the ones that are not in good condition, and we can sell off the ones that are in good condition. So I think that is really something that would benefit everybody. Or market है, लोग लेना चाहते हैं, and I have a first-hand experience of that कि लोग लेना चाहते हैं.
So Mavish, ये जो आपने बात की कि लोग लेना चाहते हैं, we know that inflation rate globally जो है वो बहुत बढ़ गया है, महंगाई बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है. So लेकिन अभी भी ethical consumerism एक problem है. Awareness issue है या क्या issue है? We need to change the consumer behavior. ये बहुत बड़ा मसला है पाकिस्तान में. So एक question again, how far do you believe consumer behavior needs to be changed, and is it possible in Pakistan? And what do you think, कितना time लगेगा? अब महंगाई तो बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रही है, तो consumerism का behavior change करने के लिए भी क्या हमें इसी pace से काम करना चाहिए, और इसको हम कैसे कर सकते हैं?
I think consumer behavior really needs to change, and I think ये बात शुरू में भी इसी पैनल में हुई थी कि अगर मुझे 10 यूरो की कमीज मिल रही है तो मैं 50 की क्यों लूंगी, right? And I was like, I want to buy 5 shirts in 50 euros, but I think consumer behavior को change करने के लिए information dissemination और awareness की जरूरत है कि consumer को पता तो हो कि भाई क्यों मैंने अच्छी क्वालिटी की कमीज लेनी है और एक लेनी है, क्यों 5 लेना कम क्वालिटी के लिए, कम क्वालिटी की बुरा है. So I think अगर लोगों में awareness होगी, I think we need to give them like pictorial video references कि this is where all your clothes are ending up, this is why you need to buy less, this is why you need to buy quality, this is why you need to buy second hand and recycled. So I think फिर हम consumer behavior को change कर सकते हैं, because I feel I can play a very limited role in telling people आप second hand लें, आप कम लें, फिर सेल लगती है और लोग कहते हैं छोड़ो मुझे नहीं इन बातों में पढ़ना, मुझे तो जाके नए कपड़े लेने हैं. So I think psychology को बदलने में awareness will play a key role, and I really think the government can partner in this way and create that information. Okay, why is it wrong to buy so much, and why is it wrong to buy low quality?
Yes, I think communication gap को कम से कम होना चाहिए, and government can take the initiative. उसमें again social media influencers and the private sector, they need to engage equally with the government to promote this ethical consumerism. But again, coming back to my point, inflation rate, अब obviously sustainability में convert करने के लिए brands को भी time लगेगा, क्योंकि उस पे भी cost आती है, capital cost होती है, लेकिन obviously उसकी बाद में cost इतनी नहीं होती है, हमारी environment में उसकी cost reduce हो जाती है, and economically भी. But initially initiative लेना is the point here, and that is I believe is most important, and Sapphire ने उस पे सबसे ज़्यादा जो है इस वक्त काम किया है. So अब जैसे ईद आ रही है and you know social media influencers, they're promoting how to dress up this Eid and how we can you know हर तरह के कपड़े, हर तरह के ब्रांड्स को प्रमोट किया जा रहा है. So जब ethical consumerism की बात आती है, so I think for now, to promote this awareness, social media influencers can take the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong here, because most of the people, our public is, you know, they're genuinely following all influencers on social media, and whatever trend they are trying to develop, that is being followed here. So Eid pe, what initiative you will be taking to promote how we are going to dress up this Eid? I know you are also you know, आप consultation दे रही हैं on decluttering your wardrobe and how you can reuse your clothes. So इस Eid पे इस initiative को कैसे promote किया जा सकता?
Yeah, I would say that see, okay, so जिस तरह retailers का इससे काम effect होता है कि कम collections introduce करना, लोगों को encourage करना कम खरीदे, it negatively impacts the retailers' business. उसी तरह it also negatively impacts my work as well, क्योंकि मेरा काम तो advertisement से, मतलब मेरी जो income है वो advertisement से generate होती है, and I, you know, do a lot of fashion content. But I think there needs to be a balance. I tell people, दिल मत मारो कि मैं अब अगले 10 साल कुछ नया नहीं खरीदूंगी, but जब खरीदो सोच समझ के खरीदो. I wish we have more brands which introduce recycled lines, sustainable lines कि हम उनसे खरीदें. And there is a concept that I try to encourage off and on: shop from your own wardrobe. तो आपके पास जो existing चीजें हैं, वो चीज जो आपने कब से नहीं पहनी, या you know a kurta that you can pair with a different dupatta and make it look new. तो इस तरह की भी चीजें मैं encourage करने की कोशिश करती हूँ. So this Eid I would say कि you know आप maybe don't buy something new. You can shop from your mother's closet. You can shop from your sister's closet, a friend's closet, your own closet. There's so many, you know, mix and match techniques that you can employ. And एक ईद पे नया ले लो, दूसरी ईद पे ना लो, you know. So obviously जैसे business completely switch एकदम से नहीं कर सकते, वैसे consumer को भी चुटकी में change करना बहुत मुश्किल है. And there's a lot of pressure from people around. So it has to be a social change जिसमें सब लोग इस चीज में participate करते हैं कि इस ईद पे, you know, I'm not buying something new, or it's Eid and I'm wearing something old. लेकिन अपने आप को मारना भी नहीं है, तो एक ईद पे ले लिया, दूसरी पे नहीं लिया, 3 outfits नहीं बनाए, एक बना लिया. So, you know, you can try and create that balance and take baby steps. Obviously, एकदम से तो आप नहीं ये change लेके आ सकते, but taking the initiative is important.
Taking the initiative is important. Sohail, आपने एक बात की थी sustainable consumption and production, the SDG 12. अभी पाकिस्तान ने recently भी अपना VNR जो है वो किया, produce किया on SDGs, but SDG 12 पे I believe we still lack some progress. और उस पे industry public private linkage जो है, I think वो एक gap है जो हमें cover करने की जरूरत है. अब जैसे Sapphire is doing some great, you know, Sapphire is taking initiatives to promote sustainability and sustainable fashion in Pakistan, but the good practices are not being highlighted, you know, in our export sectors and in the public sector as well. So what do you think, how we can make progress in the SDG 12 context? जिसके certain targets or indicators हैं, ethical consumerism भी उसका एक target है, और you know reducing hazardous waste is also a target, and promoting those brands which are actually working on sustainable consumption and production. पाकिस्तान में national action plan बना हुआ है उस पे, but हम textile sector में उसकी implementation नहीं देखते. तो इसमें कहाँ पे gaps है और where we can fill in the gaps? Over to you.
जी, बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन है आपका. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द foremost thing is there should be some platform जहाँ पे private sector should report their success stories, not if all the data. Just say Moshin साहब ने पहले, that's a fact, like the two businesses exporting to the same brand and both are the competitors. So that's why both industries want कि जी हमारी ये जो एक production line है, this is the secret, which is you know understandable. But कोई ऐसा मैकेनिज्म हो जहाँ पे प्राइवेट सेक्टर हाईलाइट करे सक्सेस स्टोरीज कि हमने ये ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट लगाया, वी आर रिसाइकलिंग और रिड्यूसिंग आवर फुटप्रिंट, और हमने अपनी इतनी कार्बन और जीएचजी एमिशंस रिड्यूस कर दी है बाय अडॉप्टिंग दिस प्रैक्टिसेस. ओके, व्हाट हैपेंस पाकिस्तान.
I believe Miss Romina is here with us. हम उनका इस पे comment ले लें, National Action Plan पे, then you can continue. Ms. Romina, Khurshid. If you can share your views on the SDG 12 progress in this context. कि पाकिस्तान में
थैंक यू सो मच बेटा, मैंने सुन लिया है, लेकिन मुझे चूंकि क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स देने के लिए कहा गया था, so I was just prepared, like I want you to give the closing remarks, but as well as you're talking about the goal 12, लेकिन मैं फिर वही वाली बात दोबारा कहूंगी, और क्योंकि हमारा स्टाफ जो है वो सारे आपकी जो गुफ्तगू हो रही थी, अदर देन दैट ऑफ कोर्स वी आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड कि आप हमें जो इस सारी जेर हासिल गुफ्तगू और आपकी जो ये तमाम तरह इवेंट है उससे जो रिजल्ट हम ओरिएंट करेंगे, उसमें जो भी फायदे हैं, किस तरह से हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, वो तो हम करेंगे. सो माय स्टाफ वाज आल्सो टेकिंग द पॉइंट्स, लेकिन अभी जस्ट टू कमिंग टुवर्ड्स द एंड, बिकॉज आई वाज बीन आस्क्ड टू गिव द क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स, सो आई एम श्योर, आई थिंक अभी आपकी इस गुफ्तगू से लग रहा है कि अभी ये सिलसिला मजीद आगे बढ़ रहा है. सो डू यू वांट मी टू गिव द रिमार्क्स नाउ और डू यू वांट मी टू होल्ड?
I think you can give your remarks now. Closing, हम उस पे फिर जो recommendations है वो end में हम share कर रहे होंगे सारी आपके साथ eventually.
Okay. तो वो तो वैसे भी मेरे तक आएंगी. मैं इस पे एक यही कहूंगी कि इस टाइम बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है, क्योंकि मैंने जो हमारे यहाँ पर लोग बैठे हुए हैं, आयशा इलियास साहिबा हैं, मिस्टर मोहसिन और सोहेल अली खान साहब, और आई थिंक महविश हैं, या महविश साहिबा जो है, ये इन तमाम की कुछ पॉइंट्स जो मैंने जितने सुने हैं अब तक, दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड पर्टिनेंट. ऑफ कोर्स मैं ये समझती हूँ कि मेरे नजदीक इसको बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है हमें इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज करने की. इस तमाम जो क्योंकि हमारा ये तब तक कोई मैटर, ये चीज वो एक रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड नहीं हो सकती, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और ये एक ऐसा कंपोनेंट है जो कि ना सिर्फ हमें जीएसपी प्लस में आगे भी लेके जा सकता है, स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकता है, और पाकिस्तान की टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री को, जो कि बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है पूरी दुनिया में, कपड़े का एक नाम है पाकिस्तान का टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर में. तो मैं एक कॉमन इंसान की अगर बात करूं, या कॉमन बंदा जो या एसएमई सेक्टर से या जो डिजाइनर या उनके हवाले से बात करूं, तो वी कैन गो फॉर अ अफोर्डेबल सॉर्ट ऑफ अ रेंज टुवर्ड्स इंटरनेशनली एंड नेशनली. other than, क्योंकि you know when we talk about designer, जब हम बात करते हैं तो mostly people think that something which comes in the people mind, that is something very over expensive. So I just wanted to share one experience of my life, or I wanted to share one learning that I have done dress designing from by Italians. It's an old time I'm talking about, like it's almost 20 years back when I'm talking. So they asked me, just design one line that what I think designer is. So for me, designer is a person who design your pocket and you in among that. So that is very important when we talk about as a developing country, when we do talk about our people, our economy. So I think we have the best talent. We the people who are multitasking people, we can do so many wonders. Our youth, and of course that old traditions which we have, specifically जब हम बात करते हैं अपने सूबों को, जैसे मैंने पहले भी कहा, अब अगर आप कोयटा को देख लें तो कोयटा के अंदर जो उनका स्टिच है, उनकी जो कलर्स हैं, जो घग्गा एक जिसको ड्रेस को कहा जाता है, दैट्स समथिंग अमेजिंग. सेम गोज विद इन अजरक, सेम गोज विद पंजाब, सेम गोज विद केपीके. सो एंड कश्मीर, जीबी में हर एक जगह का एक अपना एक टच है, कल्चर है. सो वी आर हाईली enriched country, and when we talk abroad, when we take our souvenirs over there, so people highly love it. So we just not only need to focus on that कि हम कैसे कर सकते हैं, how we can train the people, how we can engage them, how we can come up with a small sort of a groups and to facilitate our people. So for that, I think we need to have, it's a great requirement, need of a time, that we should institutionalize it, number one. Number two, that I would request SDPI, that as they're already our partners in SDGs, so we should come up with a strategy. And यहाँ पर इस time मैं आपसे बल्कि मैं पूछना चाहूंगी कि और कौन सी organization है? One is Sapphire, and which is another?
We have taken Sapphire and WWF Pakistan, उनकी research है textile sector में Sapphire, और इसके अलावा Trade Development Authority से हमारे पास representation थी, because they are working on sustainable
Okay. So I just request, because right now Sapphire is directly related, and as I've already mentioned that I'm highly impressed that the Sapphire, the way they are working. Few days back, in fact, they're one of team member which we are looking forward कि हम उनको personally pursue करें. Uswa Khwaja Sahiba hai, who is working with Sapphire on SDGs, I think. So we are been in touch with her, और हम लोग चाह रहे हैं SDGs पे we are looking for the interns or champions. So I would really request Sapphire that we are always welcome. I really wanted to welcome them, that they are always welcome to our office and to our people, and we would really like to associate with them, collaborate with them, and together we can work and we can come up with a policy in which through SDGs we can come up not only the ideas for the GSP plus, and because you know the GSP plus का जो फायदा है वो तो लोगों को पता है, लेकिन जो जिस मुतवस्सित तबके को पता चलना चाहिए उनको नहीं पता कि there are a huge number of categories जिसकी मद में आप जो है अपना export कर सकते हैं. So they don't know. So we need to promote that thing. We need to engage those people, and we need to, जैसे मैंने कहा, right people for the right job and right approach. So for that, जब हम SDPI की क्योंकि reach है तमाम तर सूबों में और specifically rural areas में, तो हम उसमें भी engage कर सकते हैं. Then we can come up with other partners too. So उसके अंदर हम लोग किस तरह internationally जो है हम engage कर सकते हैं. TDAP है, फिर हमारा commerce जो chamber of commerces हैं, हम उनको कैसे engage कर सकते हैं internationally. जैसे parliamentarians हैं, I myself a friendship group convener for EU country, Netherlands, and then another two. So we can engage, we can come up as a bridge, and we can come up with the designs in which, not design कपड़ों के design ही, मतलब we can design a strategy in which we can ask them to collaborate, we can work, and we can organize some sort of a small Zoom seminars, and other than that as well we can organize some sort of expos. And I was glad to know that there is some expos going to happen in August, and we would, as SDGs Secretariat, we would really like to become the partner in that, or we wanted to know about that and how we can assist, how we can work, and how we can engage other people as well. With this note, as I've already mentioned, I'm looking forward to all suggestions and recommendations which you guys are going to come out, the outcome of this Zoom meeting. So we are looking forward to that. I wish you all the very good luck, and all those great ideas, those great experiences which you guys have shared. They are really, I must say, they are very, of course, they come from the great experience by the people. So with this note, I got my people over here. We are going to have another meeting. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you. Wish you all good luck, and we are looking forward for the better relations and cooperation. Thank you so much. Jazakallah. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Meena, for such great comments and for being always open for suggestions and recommendations. And it's really an honor for SDPI as well to engage with you on such important topics. With this, Sohail, you were adding something on sustainability, and then we can conclude our session with some of the recommendations which are shared by our participants. And again, if participants have any questions, they can raise hand and we can take those questions now. Over to you, Sohail.
Thank you very much. I'll be just quick because I'll be interested to receive the questions from the participants. We were talking about the SDG reporting, like how यहाँ पे हम किस तरह से public private sector को engage करके उसको strengthen कर सकते हैं और international level पे अपनी image को बेहतर कर सकते हैं. We need a mechanism, strong mechanism, where the industries are comfortable to share their best practices or the best stories, which they used to share to their brands or to their buyers. तो buyers के साथ तो share कर रही होती है अपनी stories, but they also there should be a mechanism at here in Pakistan जिसमें वो अपनी best practices को share कर रहे हो, and that should be aligned or linked with the SDG plus यहाँ पे जो हमारे international agreements and treaties हैं उसके साथ alignment उसकी हो, and that could be reported at the international level. So WWF Pakistan is working with the Ministry of Climate Change and with the Planning Commission. So soon I'll be approaching Romina and her team as well, what we have done so far and how we can expand our work with the collaboration and moving on. And the awareness is one of the major and the important component in all these efforts, where the social media people and all the people who are on ground, we really need this support for having a good picture and the good image of Pakistan at the international level, so that we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have some questions as well as some recommendations from our participants. एक बड़ी अच्छी recommendation है कि there should be a limit as to how many clothing lines companies, designers can launch. That too is one of the reasons of hoarding. In summer, there are 10 lines launching pre-summer, post-summer, Eid collections, as Mavish has already mentioned. So I believe this is a very important recommendation to limit the dirty fast fashion that is being promoted in our country, जहाँ पहले ही waste बहुत ज़्यादा import किया जा रहा है. इसके अलावा हमारे पास और suggestion है. Sorry, a hand has been raised by the participant. जी आयशा.
आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
जी जी आ रही है.
So it's not a question really, it's most likely a comment. हमारे यहाँ पहले, जैसे मैविश ने मेंशन किया कि जब पहले होता था तो हम लोग एक दूसरे के कपड़े भी पहन रहे होते थे, सारे बचपन हम लोगों ने यही देखा. इवेंचुअली वो जब रैग्स में बदलता था तो तब वो जाता था पोछा बनता था या डस्टर बनता था. उसके बाद गांव वगैरह की साइड में वो तंदूरों में जाके जल के वो खत्म हो जाता था. तो उसका वो लाइफ साइकिल एक लिमिटेड होता था, वो आफ्टर अ सर्टेन टाइम वो वैसे ही खत्म हो जाता था. इन पार्ट आई बिलीव कि जो हमारा ये वेस्ट कल्चर डेवलप हो रहा है वो इस वजह से भी हो रहा है क्योंकि कैपिटलिज्म ने हमें ये बता दिया कि आपको मॉप भी बाजार से खरीदना है, आपका घर में पोछा नहीं बन सकता, आपने वही लेके यूज करना है. तो सिर्फ क्लोथिंग इंडस्ट्री को हम इसमें फिर रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं करार दे सकते. हमें फिर ये बाकी सारी इंडस्ट्रीज जो हम एक्सपोर्ट भी कर रहे हैं और ये चीजें बनवा भी रही हैं, तो वो भी इन पार्ट इस चीज में रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. लेकिन एक क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे ये आया था कि अगर नए कपड़े बनेंगे नहीं तो इंडस्ट्री कैसे चलेगी. तो जब हम एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात करते हैं, हम एक तरह से ये बात करते हैं कि वो उस तरह से प्रोडक्शन में भी रिडक्शन हो, जिस तरह कंजप्शन में रिडक्शन होगी तो प्रोडक्शन में भी रिडक्शन होगी, बिकॉज ये डिमांड और सप्लाई की बेसिस पे चलते हैं. तो हमें फिर ये ग्राउंड रियलिटी को भी देखना है कि हमने फिर उस पॉपुलेशन को कहाँ पे एंगेज करना है. सो अगर कोई उस हवाले से भी अगर हम थोड़े इसमें कोई सजेशंस ऐड कर लें. दैट्स इट.
जी आई थिंक मैविश आप आंसर करते हैं जो आयशा का पहला कमेंट था, और फिर सुहेल से हम ये लास्ट पॉइंट पे कमेंट लेते हैं. जी मैविश.
सॉरी, आप प्लीज मुझे बताएंगी पहला कमेंट कौन सा? आई वाज थिंकिंग अबाउट वे टू एंगेज द लेबर. सॉरी.
ओके आयशा आप रिपीट करते हैं या मैं बता दूं?
पहला कमेंट ये था कि जो हमारा पोछा बन जाता था फिर तंदूर में जाके वो जल के खत्म हो जाता था, वो चीज अब क्योंकि हम मॉप्स बाजार से ले रहे हैं तो कैपिटलिज्म इन पार्ट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस एज वेल, कि वो उसने बाकी इंडस्ट्री हमारे जहन में डाल दिए कि हमें वही यूज करना है, वही बेस्ट चीज है और हमारे घर वाले नहीं यूज हो सकता.
Yes, yes. Can you guys hear me?
जी we can.
नहीं, ये बिल्कुल आप ठीक बात कह रही हैं कि कैपिटलिज्म ने हमारे अंदर ये कॉन्सेप्ट इंट्रोड्यूस किया कि हर चीज हमने बाजार से ही लेनी है, और ये भी कॉन्सेप्ट कैपिटलिज्म ने ही इंट्रोड्यूस किया कि नई फैशन लाइन, and it really मतलब plays with obviously and it thrives on how the consumer इसमें फंस कैसे जाते हैं कि इस साल स्किनी जीन्स हैं, अगले साल वाइड लेगेड जीन्स हैं, अब उन स्किनी जीन्स का आपने क्या करना है और फिर जब अगले साल फिर स्किनी जीन्स आ जाएंगी तो फिर आप क्या नई स्किनी जीन्स खरीदेंगे, और जो वाइड लेगेड जीन्स ली थी उनका क्या होगा. So it's definitely something that capitalism encourages us to do, and it definitely benefits businesses, and it wrongly impacts the environment. But वही वाली चीज है कि हमें ये सोचना है moving forward, not just Pakistan but the whole world, कि आपने किस तरह से इस चीज में फिर बैलेंस लेके आना है कि अगर बिजनेसेस नहीं प्रोडक्शन करेंगे तो फिर उनके प्रॉफिट्स का क्या होगा, वो जो जीडीपी में कंट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं उसका क्या होगा. सो फिर क्या वाकई अगर फैशन इंडस्ट्री को अपनी प्रोडक्शन कम करनी है तो फिर लेबर जो एक्सेस होगा उसका क्या होगा. So I think कि अब हम blame game से अब हमें आगे निकलना है कि ये consumer का कसूर है कि ये producer का कसूर है. I think कि पूरी दुनिया को capitalism ने अपनी लपेट में लिया है, and over the past 60-70 years हम इसमें रहे हैं. But how to move forward now? How to create that balance कि consumer भी एक responsible purchasing करे, जो producer है भी वो भी responsible production करे, जो excess labor है उसका क्या होगा? I think together all of us need to think what would be the best way forward.
जी सुहेल, आप नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो मैं आयशा ने किया था वो आप एड्रेस करते हैं प्लीज.
जी थैंक यू वेरी मच. I think ये बड़ा अच्छा interesting, not at all. We are just only emphasizing we need to move towards the sustainable raw materials, sustainable production, and promote the the recycling in the collaboration with the existing जो हमारे पास resources है उनके साथ instead. क्योंकि अभी ये brands ने भी start कर दिया है, उन्होंने अपने प्रोड्यूसर्स को टारगेट दे दिया कि 20% आपका ये जो प्रोडक्शन लाइन है उसमें जो रॉ मटेरियल या आपकी जो चीजें आएंगी वो रिसाइकल्ड होनी चाहिए. This is right now some of the brands have tagged that. So this is something we are saying कि अगर कोई पुराना फैब्रिक है, कपड़ा है, brands या producers should also include that. ठीक है, आपने जो यार्न बनाना है अगर तो फाइन क्वालिटी का बनाना है, वेल एंड गुड फ्रेश कॉटन से बनाएं. बट अगर आपने थोड़ा सा कोर्स बनाना है, काउंट का लाइक मोटा कपड़ा बनाना है, तो उसमें फॉर श्योर इजीली आप इंस्टेड के बर्निंग दैट फैब्रिक आप वो लॉट लेके उसको अपनी प्रोडक्शन लाइन में मिक्स कर सकते हैं. दिस इज समथिंग जिसकी वजह से हम ये कर सकते हैं. एंड द अदर ट्रेंड हम जो कह रहे हैं कि अगर ये आ गया, पहले माविश ने बड़ी अच्छी बात की थी कि हम अपने बड़ों के जो कपड़े हैं, ब्राइडल ड्रेसेस और ग्रूम ड्रेसेस, वो हम सेल कर देते हैं. अभी आई लाइक द आइडिया, लाइक पर्टिकुलरली इन लाहौर दिस इज आल्सो ट्रेंड कि अब ग्रूम ड्रेसेस भी वो रेंट पे मिल रहे होते हैं, ब्राइडल ड्रेस भी रेंट पे. अब कौन 5 लाख रुपए का ड्रेस बनाए फॉर द वन डे? Many people will be, they disagree with me, which is right. But for only a single day, bridal and groom dress, आप rent पे ले लें and use that. And the same for the parties as well, because this is something we can promote in that way as well. Instead कि जी नहीं हमेशा नई चीज पहननी है. और एक और चीज है, being a nation, हमारा वैसे ईद पे और इन त्योहारों पे बाजारों में जाना with the family shopping, this is actually part of our culture, socio-cultural thing. This is something कि आपको एक वैसे थोड़ी सी वो instigate कर रही होती है कि जी बाजार जाना, ईद आई है, शॉपिंग के लिए. like this is another area which is already discussed कि we need to see कि instead of the shopping in that way, we need to see the other alternatives as well. कि ठीक है जी, आपके पास पहला अगर फैब्रिक है, आप उसको किस तरीके से डाई करवा लेंगे. जीन्स मार्केट्स में आती हैं, सो जीन्स की लाइफ है, लाइक यू कैन वेयर, आप कई उसको मल्टीपल टाइम्स, तो उसको आप किस तरह से यूटिलाइज दोबारा कर सकते हैं, उसके ऊपर डाइंग समथिंग लाइक दैट. एंड आई डिड दैट पर्सनली, दैट एक्सपीरियंस कि जी इसी पे, बल्कि बाय द वे आई एम वेयरिंग द सेम, लाइक आई डाइड वन ऑफ माय ओल्ड जो एक सूट था उसको मैंने डाई करवाया, एंड आई एम गोना वेयर दैट, जस्ट not only to tell the people, but this is something the demand of the fashion as well. ठीक है यार, मैं नहीं buy करना चाहता, to reduce my footprint, at least I can do that what I can. So this is just an example from the, we can start right at that level and we can see like how the changes are there. Just at the end, I was in Edinburgh 2 months back. There was an international conference. I was one of the key speakers. तो मैं इधर से क्लोथ्स वगैरह लेके नहीं गया था उस तरह से, एंड इट वाज अ चिली वेदर फॉर मी, 13 डिग्री सेल्सियस इन एडिनबरा, स्कॉटलैंड. आई विजिटेड सम ऑफ द शॉप्स एंड आई वाज शॉक्ड एंड थैंकिंग गॉड कि वहां पे एक टी शर्ट्स जो है 20 पाउंड्स प्लस में मिल रही थी. एंड आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर सम जैकेट कि मैं जैकेट लेके उसको बाय करके लूं, एंड that was out of range at that time. And I thank God कि I'm living in a country like Pakistan, जहां पे आप मार्केट में जाएं, आपको everything is available at your doorstep for all the seasons, और बड़ी आपको market price पे मिल रही होती है. So this is something we need to promote and continue by all these interventions integrating together, and which is only possible by the collaboration. So just my last concluding remarks would also be people, private sector, and the government. We need to come up with that level and promote that. And this is just only our behavioral change. We can do that. We have done several exceptional things in the pandemic. We have done several exceptional things when the fuel prices, the hikes are right now. So everyone is just calculating or revisiting their budget. किस तरह से हमने carpooling करनी है, किस तरह से हमने अपने आप को manage करना है. So this is also possible. This is also doable. So we need to just think on that and just start from our home. Thank you.
Thank you. There's another point raised by one of the participants that prices are sky high these days. If not regularly, people tend to hoard so many clothes during sales because they know it's affordable for them only during that time, and they know even the next year the prices will increase even more. So Mavish, you highlighted this point कि sale लगती है तो कपड़े खरीदना जरूरी नहीं होता, but this is also important because we know inflation rate is rising these days हर month almost. So हमें इसका क्या करना चाहिए? सेल लगेगी, लोग कपड़े ले लेंगे कि ये बाद में इसकी prices ज्यादा हो जाएंगी. So इस चीज को कैसे करना चाहिए control?
So I completely agree. I think I am also somebody who waits for sales के sale लगेगी तो मैं लूंगी, but मैंने अपनी mentality में ये change लाया कि sale लेने का ये मतलब नहीं है कि आप 20 कपड़े खरीदने. You have to look at what you need. अब यहाँ पे Black Friday sales लगती हैं and it's insane, crazy lines. People are buying their throwaway prices. पहले साल जब मैं यहाँ थी, I participated, ये भी ले लो, वो भी ले लो, and then over the next year I realized कि मैंने तो वो चीजें इस्तेमाल भी नहीं की सारी. उसमें से कुछ items थे जो मैंने इस्तेमाल किए, but most of them were just driven by this fact कि sale लगी है तो ले लो. So what I did, and I worked on myself, कि my purchase should not be driven by the price. ये price कम हो गई मैं इसलिए ले रही हूँ. My purchase has to be driven by the need. कि मुझे क्या एक और jeans की जरूरत है, and my purchase also has to be driven by how much I really like that product. तो वो होता है ना कि सस्ता है तो ले लो, फिर बाद में आप realize करते हो मुझे इतना पसंद तो था नहीं है कुर्ता, मैंने ऐसे ही ले लिया, फिर वो आप hoard करते हो, फिर वो आप waste करते हो. So I think सेल पे वो चीजें जरूर आप लें जो आपने सोची होती हैं. एक आपकी एक 6 monthly लिस्ट होती है कि मुझे इस चीज की जरूरत है, इस चीज की जरूरत है. So definitely wait for a sale and buy what you need. If you feel कि अब मेरा साइज बदल गया है या मेरे कपड़े बहुत पुराने हो गए हैं और मुझे 3-4 नए कुर्तों की जरूरत है, please by all means buy from a sale. But buy those 4, then don't buy 10. So I think जरा consciously और mindfully भी सेल को अप्रोच करना चाहिए. ऑनलाइन बस जाके कार्ट में चीजें नहीं भर लेनी चाहिए, एक एनालिसिस करना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड सेल से पहले व्हाट आई आल्सो लाइक डूइंग इज ओपनिंग माय वार्डरोब एंड गोइंग थ्रू व्हाट आई हैव. अक्सर ये होता है कि आपके पास इतनी चीजें होती हैं कि आप भूल भी गए होते हो कि मैंने वो भी लिया था, मेरे पास ये भी है. सो हैव एन इन्वेंटरी, चेक व्हाट यू हैव एंड यू विल रियलाइज इतनी चीजें मुझे नहीं चाहिए जितनी मुझे अट्रैक्शन फील हो रही है. सो आई थिंक बीइंग अ लिटिल माइंडफुल during the time of sales is also very important.
Thank you so much, Mavish. That was again about ethical consumerism and consumer behavior. कि हमें behavioral shift चाहिए towards approaching sustainability in fashion trends. I know there are so many other questions from our participants, but I would request our participants to post your questions on our official social media pages, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll be sending these questions to our panelists, and we would request them to answer your questions individually. So for now, we have to end our session. Thank you so much to all our panelists for joining us today and for discussing such an important topic. Mr. Romina, Khurshid, for telling us that government is here and for the support, and they are going to take the recommendations and they'll be working with all the sectors to promote sustainable fashion. Dr. Arfa for sharing what TDAP is doing and how we can promote sustainable exports and how that would be important for the GSP Plus status that Pakistan has enjoyed over the last few years, and that is currently under review. Thank you to Mr. Moshin from Sapphire Textiles. I believe he's currently busy and couldn't join us for the questions that have been asked, that have been referred to Mr. Moshin specifically. But Sapphire is actually taking the lead, and I think social media influencers also, if they start promoting such brands, then maybe eventually the consumer behavior will shift towards sustainability. And जहाँ पर बात है इन्फ्लेशन रेट की और महंगाई की, so I believe repurposed clothing and repurposed fabrics, जो recycled clothing है वो सस्ती होती है दूसरे फैब्रिक से जो न्यू प्रेट कलेक्शंस आ रहे होते हैं, सो उसको लेने में फायदा भी होता है। सो ये भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट रिकमेंडेशंस आई हैं हमारे पास। और मैं विश आपने जिस तरह से बात किया, आप प्रमोट कर रही हैं इसको अपने सोशल मीडिया पे, प्लीज कीप डूइंग दैट एंड कीप engaging your followers for shifting towards sustainable fashion. And Sohail, you're doing some amazing research and you have shared some amazing initiatives from WWF Pakistan. I believe हमें इस तरह की recommendations और research की जरूरत है, and SDPI will be engaging with all of you for promoting this trend in the future as well. So once again, thank you for joining us today. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.